Now, stop for a moment and look around. Putting aside the distracting allure of the phone in your hand, question where true power lies. This moment is a critical turning point where most men seek success in the wrong place and lose sight of their mission. You see, try to capture her attention is not merely a strategy. It's an indicator where your life's purpose is positioned. Every eager message you send, every empty post you share, clearly shows her how committed you are to your true goal. If your days are spent wondering what she thinks, if you seek the echo of your accomplishments and her validation, you've handed her your frame. Your energy proclaims that you desire her, that you need her. Women instantly recognize this neediness. They aren't looking for a man to fill their spare time. They are looking for a man with an unstoppable purpose. Success is not a fleeting moment of happiness that comes from her calling you. It is the unshakable peace that comes from continuing on your own path. Most men, when faced with a plateau in their career or personal development, try to find validation in the pursuit of women's attention. They believe that real value is outward appreciation that is earned. But here's the brutal truth. When you lose your purpose, you lose your deepest attraction. By showing her interest and being constantly available, you affirm that the center of your life is her, not you. You teach her that your personal discipline was a whim, a show. And when she sees that, she loses her passion. Because women don't admire a man who feels a need to constantly prove himself to her. They admire a man who demonstrates that his mission is the priority of his life. You think that spending time with her will satisfy your life, but it only highlights the emptiness within. Because every approach stemming from weakness invites her to beg for her attention, while every hour dedicated to your purpose creates attraction. You don't lose her by ceasing the pursuit of your purpose. On the contrary, when you focus on your own development, your absence is felt with a power that words can never compensate for. Before you call her, you must ask yourself a simple question. Does this action serve my mission? Does reaching out make you a better version of yourself? Or are you just seeking a temporary emotional fix? Be honest. Most of the time, it's the latter. You're not looking for a relationship. You are looking for attention and validation. But here's the problem. The moment you seek external validation, you surrender your inner strength. You make her the master of your ambition and your life's purpose. And the more power you give her, the more your attractiveness diminishes. Because women respect men who have their own goals at the center of their lives. Their presence is a byproduct of their intense work. That silence, however lonely it may feel, is your greatest assurance. Instead of waiting for her to call you, it allows the value you have built to speak volumes. And it's not wrong to message her, but your intent determines everything. The sweetest message sent from a moment of weakness will backfire. Because women don't just read your words, they read your motivation, your focus, your spiritual energy. You can say, I'm thinking of you. But if your intention is to ease her anxiety, you may still be communicating neediness. If your energy is focused on your purpose, you can communicate strength without saying anything at all. What most men don't understand is that focus itself is a message. It's a message that says, my life is independent of external approval. My energy is directed toward what I am building. When she feels this shift, when she realizes that you're no longer evolving in her orbit, the dynamic changes completely. Your dedication becomes magnetic. She begins to wonder why you are so busy, why you are so silent. That's when the dynamic reverses. She is the one waiting, wondering, and forced to think about you. Remember, my friend, women don't react to logic. They react to purpose. And nothing triggers a woman's interest more than your inaccessible ambition. When you cut off her access to your energy, her mind fills that void with your success stories. She starts to imagine scenarios, questioning her own priorities, and slowly she begins to miss the passion of yours that she once looked down upon. But if you reach out to her too early, outside of your mission, you interrupt this process. You rescue her from the very discomfort that would have made her see your value as a man unwilling to waste his time. Therefore, focus is not just a strategy. It's a measure of value. It forces both of you to see what your priorities are. You start to see if she truly values your mission and vision. And she begins to see what her own life feels like without your energy. Before you reach out to her, ask yourself, do I want temporary attention or permanent admiration? because the choice between the two will determine the trajectory of your life. When you withdraw your energy from her, you're not ignoring her. You are preventing your masculine purpose from being diluted. You are creating space for polarity to be rebuilt. Because women don't fall in love with constant communication. They fall in love with the feeling of missing your mission. They crave that emotional tension, that uncertainty, that mystery that makes them wonder if they can still join your vision. The modern man ruins this dynamic by being too available, too transparent, too off mission. He sends her, "I'm waiting to hear from you" messages every day, unaware that he is extinguishing the very spark of purpose that first captivated her. The absence that once made her wonder now feels like a void she has to fill. But when you never give her the chance to fill this void, she stops valuing your presence as old before you message her. Ask yourself, are you trying to integrate her into your mission? Or are you trying to fill your own emotional void? Because women can sense the difference even before they read the message. You see, when a woman starts to pull back emotionally, it's never random. It's a subconscious value test. She wants to see if your mission collapses without her. If you panic, if you chase, if you fill the silence with personal needs, she knows she is dealing with a man who needs her attention more than she needs his vision. But when you don't chase, when you let her drift without reaction and continue to focus on your higher purpose, something powerful happens. Her control fantasy fades. She starts to feel uneasy. Her mind wages war with itself. Why is he so focused? What is more important than me? Was I not as central as I thought? These questions don't just cross her mind. They haunt her, because a woman's greatest fear is not losing a man's love. It is losing her emotional priority over him. And every second you remain focused on your mission, this fear grows louder. You are no longer predictable. You are no longer safe for their ego. You become a source of attraction again. Before you message her again, remember this. Women value what they have earned for a purpose. When you message too early, you rob her of this process. You give her the reward without the effort. But when you wait, when you hold your ground, you create space for her to desire to join your vision. That's when she begins to reflect, to remember your focus state, the calmness you carried, the clarity of purpose she once took for granted.